Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another Sport This Week video. And in today's video, I've got baseball, basketball, football, NFL, boxing, UFC, cricket, rugby, and the new sport, which I'm not going to spoil yet. I mean, it'll probably be in the title anyway, but a new sport as well. So yeah, if you're new around here though and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like it if you're doing the like video, and let's get straight into it. So going into just before I start, sorry if I look like a bit of a mess. It is like 1,000,000 degrees outside, so I'll probably be sweating buckets during this video. But yeah, going into this, I'm going to start off with the baseball news. Red Sox won 11-6 versus Yankees. Red Sox lost 10-5 versus Rays. Yankees lost 4-3 versus Reds. Red Sox lost 3-2 versus Rays. Dodgers lost 7-6 versus Cardinals. Astros won 6-5 versus Angels. Yankees won 7-6 versus Reds. Red Sox lost 4-1 versus Rays. Dodgers won 7-6 versus Cardinals. Astros lost 7-1 versus Angels. Yankees lost 7-6 versus Reds. Red Sox lost 5-4 versus Rays. Dodgers won 4-0 versus Cardinals. Astros won 3-2 versus Angels. Astros won 5-0 versus Athletics. Yankees won 14-1 versus Red Sox. Dodgers won 7-1 versus Angels. Yankees won 13-2 versus Red Sox. And Astros lost 4-3 versus Athletics. And yeah, that's all the baseball news. Moving on to the basketball news now. Warriors won 86-85 versus Spurs. Lakers won 89-86 versus Hornets. Celtics won 111-109 versus Bucks. Heat lost 95-88 versus Hawks. Celtics won 103-92 versus Warriors. Lakers won 83-72 versus Clippers. Heat lost 75-71 versus 76ers. Celtics won 108-91 versus Grizzlies. Warriors lost 90-82 versus Thunder. Heat lost 88-78 versus Raptors. Lakers won 102-94 versus Pelicans. Celtics lost 102-95 versus Nets. Lakers won 95-84 versus Mavericks. And Heat won 86-83 versus Clippers. And yeah, that's all the basketball news. Moving on to the football news now. Williams has joined Forest. Pogba has joined Juventus. Pereira has joined Fulham. Decore has joined Palace. Austria won 2-0 versus Northern Ireland. Wilshere is the new Arsenal under-18s manager. England won 8-0 versus Norway. Rodri has signed a new Man City contract until 2027. Man U won 4-0 versus Liverpool. Guessant has joined Nantes. Rooney is the new DC United manager. Lewis Potter has joined Brentford. Germany won 2-0 versus Spain. Pereira has joined Auxerre. Bayo has joined Lille. Simmer has joined Angers. Hudlin has joined Huddersfield. Sterling has joined Chelsea. Sweden won 2-1 versus Switzerland. Collins has joined Derby. Netherlands won 3-2 versus Portugal. Dembele has signed a new Barcelona contract until 2024. Italy drew 1-1 versus Iceland. France won 2-1 versus Belgium. Hennessy has joined Forest. Rudoni has joined Huddersfield. Ericsson has joined Man U. Kipre has joined Cardiff. Mahrez has signed a new Man City contract until 2025. Austria won 1-0 versus Norway. England won 5-0 versus Northern Ireland. Cooler than one team being England this week. We're going to be speaking about a lot of teams, and so yeah, let's get straight into this. So Bangladesh won by 6 wickets versus West Indies. USA won by 8 wickets versus Jersey. Zimbabwe won by 111 runs versus Singapore. Netherlands won by 52 runs versus Papua New Guinea. Uganda won by 2 wickets versus Hong Kong. Zimbabwe won by 23 runs versus Jersey. USA won by 132 runs versus Singapore. Netherlands won by 7 wickets versus Hong Kong. Papua New Guinea won by 8 wickets versus Uganda. New Zealand won by 3 wickets versus Ireland. Bangladesh won by 9 wickets versus West Indies. Nepal won by 5 wickets versus Scotland. Netherlands won by 97 runs versus Uganda. Hong Kong won by 2 wickets versus Papua New Guinea. Zimbabwe won by 46 runs versus USA. Jersey won by 13 runs versus Singapore. England won by 100 runs versus India. Hong Kong won by 7 wickets versus Singapore. Uganda won by 5 runs versus Jersey. New Zealand won by 1 run versus Ireland. Hampshire won by 1 run versus Lancashire to win the Vitality Blast. Jersey won by 6 wickets versus Singapore. Uganda won by 4 runs versus Hong Kong. Zimbabwe won by 37 runs versus Netherlands. Papua New Guinea won by 5 runs versus USA. And India won by 5 wickets versus England. And yeah, that is all of the cricket news this week. So we're going to move on to the NFL news next, where Bears are trading for Harry. And yes, again, there's not much news for NFL starting next month. We're getting there, only a couple of weeks away now. But yeah, moving on to the boxing news now. Lopez will fight Camper on the 13th of August. Fires will fight on the 6th of August. Williams will fight Conway on the 17th of September. Barboza Jr. won by unanimous decision versus Zorrilla to become WBO Intercontinental Super Lightweight Champion, which I didn't predict right. I went for a bit of a different one going with Zorrilla, but I ended up getting it wrong. Rodriguez will fight Gonzalez on 17th September. Garcia won by KO in round 6 versus Fortuna. I did predict Garcia to win. I think I predicted it a bit earlier, but yeah, still predicted for him to win. Zorro has joined Queensberry. Pedraza will fight Gomi on the 27th of August. Hedges will re-sign with Matchroom. Has re-signed with Matchroom. Ituma will fight won via TKO in round 4 versus Gazdik. O'Leary won via TKO in round 2 versus Zamora. Ball won via TKO in round 12 versus Kakololo to remain WBC Silver Featherweight Champion. Heffron won via TKO in round 5 versus Clark to become IBF Intercontinental, Commonwealth and BBOFC Champion, Super Middleweight Champion. McCann won via TKO in round 8 versus Beach Jr. to become WBC International Super Featherweight Champion. Shiraz won via TKO in round 5 versus Torres to become WBC Silver Middleweight Champion. Tempo Arts won via unanimous decision versus Smithy, which I did predict right. Dave, the other guy, won by unanimous decision versus Paddy Murphy, another one I predicted right. Pully Arif won by unanimous decision versus Tommy Mulligan, which I didn't predict right. Dean LM won via TKO in round 1 versus Luke Bennett, which I did predict right. Ginty won by unanimous decision versus Kay Reese, which I didn't predict right, but I did think was a bit of a robbery. Aaron Hunt won via TKO in round 2 versus Chef Dave, which I did predict right. El Brook won via unanimous decision versus AJ Bunker, which I did predict right. Ed Matthews won by KO in round 1 versus Simple Simon, which I also predicted right, and that means that Simple Simon's lost. But Ed Matthews, I mean, he called out some people. I don't know if any of them fights will happen. He'll probably have to fight another TikTok guy if he really wants to fight. Maybe with Bryce Hall, you never know. Eloka won by unanimous decision versus Nietes to remain WBO World Super Flyweight Champion. Eifert won by unanimous decision versus Sperandio to become IBF Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Champion. And yeah, that's all the boxing news. Moving on to the rugby news now. Ireland won by 30-24 versus Maori All Blacks. Ireland won 32-22 versus New Zealand to win the series 2-1. South Africa won 30-14 versus Wales to win the series 2-1. Argentina won 34-31 versus Scotland to win the series 2-1, and England won 21-17 versus Australia to win the series 2-1. And then that is all the rugby news. Moving on to the UFC news now. Oliveira will fight Makhachev on the 22nd of October, which is a big fight, which will be for the belt, as Oliveira is trying to reclaim the belt, which got taken away from him because he didn't make weight, and Makhachev going to be a good test. Murphy won by decision versus Tate. Li Jingliang won via KO in round 2 versus Salikov. Lemos won via submission in round 2 versus Watson. Rodriguez won via TKO in round 1 versus Ortega due to an injury. And yeah, that is all of the UFC news. Moving on to the tennis news, where it's the Swedish Open, which I'm just going to talk about the men's singles final. Sarandola won 2-0 versus Baez to win the men's singles Swedish Open. And yeah, that is all of the tennis news. Moving on to the final sport, which is the new sports news, being ice hockey. So we're going to be talking about all the deals that are going to be going on. Scores wise, when the season actually restarts, we'll talk about the scores when with just the certain teams, which probably the best teams, few best teams. But yeah, transfer wise, we've got a lot to talk about. So Nichushkin has signed an 8-year deal with Avalanche. McFarland is the new Avalanche manager. Raquel has signed a 6-year deal with Penguins. Keith has retired. Senators has traded for Talbot for Gustafsson. Malkin has signed a 4-year deal with Penguins. Olofsson has signed a 2-year deal with Sabres. Manson has signed a 4-year deal with Avalanche. Samisonov has signed a 1-year deal with Maple Leafs. Leddy has signed a 4-year deal with Blues. Mikheyev has signed a 4-year deal with Canucks. Kopp has signed a 5-year deal with Red Wings. Campbell has signed a 5-year deal with Oilers. Serge Gachev has signed a 8-year deal with Lightning. Cirelli has signed an 8-year deal with Lightning. Cernak has signed an 8-year deal with Lightning. Giroux has signed a 3-year deal with Senators. Kuemper has signed a 5-year deal with Capitals. Lindblom has signed a 2-year deal with Sharks. Trocheck has signed a 7-year deal with Rangers. Honen has signed a 5-year deal with Avalanche. White has signed a 1-year deal with Panthers. Hurricanes have traded for Burns and Pedersen for Lawrence McKinney and a 2023 third-round pick. Perron has signed a 2-year deal with Red Wings. Kubalik has signed a 2-year deal with Red Wings. Marchment has signed a 4-year deal with Stars. Domi has signed a 1-year deal with Blackhawks. Akanasiov has signed a 1-year deal with Blackhawks. Burakowski has signed a 5-year deal with Kraken. Vatrans has signed a 3-year deal with Ducks. Smith has signed a 3-year deal with Golden Knights. Carolina has signed has traded Pacioretty and Colon for Golden Knights future considerations. Sorry if you can hear dogs and animals and stuff like that shouting outside. My window's open. I had to have it open. It's so hot. Anyway, carrying on. Almost done now. Gaudreau has signed a 7-year deal with Blue Jackets. Strome has signed a 5-year deal with Ducks. Norris has signed an 8-year deal with Senators. Palat has signed a 5-year deal with Devils. Jean Croc has signed a 4-year deal with Maple Leafs. Pittsburgh has traded Smith and a 2023 third-round pick for Marino. Pittsburgh has traded Petrie and Pooling for Mason and a 2023 4th-round pick. And yeah, that's all the news for this week. That's all the ice hockey news. Hope it's all alright. Hope you could understand a bit of it. I know I'm crap with trying to pronounce names. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Like the video if you didn't like the video, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.